Wake up and smell the coffee, Mr. LaRusso.
Extreme situations require extreme measures.
Yo guys, back to Cobra Kai Karate, going back to brand new video. And guys, today we're here with the final Cobra Kai fanfiction of part 2. Today we have Cobra Kai fanfiction episode 10, The Tale of the Cobra. I know I've not done this for a while, and I know season 6, part 2 is right around the corner. And yeah, I know you guys are probably wondering, okay, what do you need for part 3? Because if you're going to do part 3, it's going to be after the real part 2. So are you going to follow after the real part 2, or are you going to follow your part 2? To answer that, I got kind of both answers to that. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but if part 2 goes as I like, I'll just finish this series following my own with part 3. Now, if part 2 does not go my liking, I'll still do that, but I'll also do a separate one where I follow part 2 with part 3 of following the real part 2. I'm just rambling at this point. I don't know if you guys understand one word I said. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. But anyway, guys, we are here. I want to get this out before season 6, part 2. And yeah, here we are with the last one of part 2. It's all about the Psycho-Taikai. If you guys are new to this, make sure you check out my other 4 ones. This is following part 1 of my fan fiction from episode 6, 7, 8, 9, and here we are with 10. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Cobra Kai season 6, part 10. Oh, bloody hell. Part 2, season 6, episode 10, Tale of the Cobra. Let's go. Okay, so it starts out with Daniel giving a speech. And he's giving a speech to all the Miyagi-Do students that stayed. But as the speech is going on, it's showing a montage of Johnny getting on the plane to leave. He really does hesitate as he's about to leave. He looks at Miguel. He gives Miguel a hug. And Robbie's kind of watching from afar. He really doesn't really want. He's still on a rough space, so he just kind of just watches from afar. And he looks at Daniel, and they kind of just shake their head. He gets on the plane and leaves. And then we see Chosen go walk up to Daniel. He gives Daniel the Miyagi-Do headband and says, "Remember what you're fighting for." That just shows the new Cobra Kai dojo in full force. And they're giving a speech, and they're showing the whole speech of Silver talking to the students. And then it continues showing Daniel's montage of him giving a speech. But as that speech is over, we see Tori walk in, as they're all kind of confused. And Daniel's like, "Tori?" And Tori says, "Look, I'm sorry for everything. After my mom died, I could not control my emotions. I just want to fight for what's right." And Daniel says, "We'd love to have you," as she comes back into Miyagi-Do. And then we see Kreese walking around. We see him walking around. He's at a bar getting drunk. This is obviously after he got beat up by Silver and got kicked out. He's there, and a guy comes with a bill to pay for, all the alcohol, he's assuming. And then he looks in his wallet, and he does not have enough money. So they kind of kick him out, throw him out of the bar. He falls down. He tries to fight back. He doesn't. And then we're going to get a shot of at nighttime in the cold. Maybe not the cold, but just nighttime. And he's just slow to get up. He's hurt. He's old, and I just want to see Kreese at almost his lowest point, almost like in Karate Kid 3, the beginning of Karate Kid 3, as he slowly starts to walk away. Then we see a scene back in America with Johnny getting back, and he knocks on Carmen's door to kind of surprise her. She's really shocked, obviously. He explained why he's back here and how Danny was fighting for the wrong reasons, and Carmen is very happy that he's back, but at the same time, she's a little hesitant about his, decision to come back, as she might think that he wants to keep with the students, or she kind of feels like she kind of left the students there and not help Daniel in a way, and she's just a little hesitant, but she's happy he's back. But she's not really showing or saying that at the moment. She's just happy he's back, and she is also very pregnant. I want to add that. Then we see a scene of Sam and Tori walking, and they're just talking about some stuff, catching up. Obviously, they haven't really even talked at all since the whole thing. And Tori will say, "I heard what happened to you with that guy Axel. I'm so sorry to hear it." Sam says, "It's okay. I should have known better. I'm just happy you're back with us." But as she says that, Tori will stop walking, and she'll almost start to tear up a bit. And she'll say, "I'm sorry." Then she'll say, "I've terrorized you guys. You guys were my friends, and the moment you let me in, I betray you guys. This isn't all my fault, and this is not what my mother would have wanted." Sam says, "It's okay. I've been a bad friend too. I should have talked to you after, but I was afraid. That's one thing that always holds me back. But I'll never be afraid to call you a friend. You're with us." But then Tori will say, "I don't feel that I am. When I look at the gi, it's more than that. It's more than karate. It's a symbol of what I should be and what I'm not. And I feel like I can never be that. No matter how hard I try, I can never fully even trust myself. Sam says, it's okay, we trust you and we love you. As they hug and they kind of meet up, and I feel like it's a great thing because, yeah, we had that theme of them talking, but I really feel like this scene will really element them into their friendship. I was first not fully, I guess you could say, a fan of them becoming a friend, but with such traumatic things happening in their life, I feel like those teenage stuff, even though that teenage stuff they went through was really real hate, like they almost killed each other, I feel like that stuff's gonna fade away. So yeah. And then after they hug, she'll say, have you talked to Robbie yet? And she'll just, kind of say no. Then they'll show Robbie sitting in the dojo all alone, and Tori will walk in. And they'll have a talk, and I think this will be a talk where before Tori can even start to apologize, Robbie will stop her first, and he'll say he's sorry, and how I should have understood more, I should have been more passionate with you, and they will really make it up. And I feel like they'll even make it up with a kiss, as they'll say their line that what they were planning to do from the beginning, and say, let's win this together. And that's something that's been hurting Robbie a lot, of seeing Sam and Miguel and seeing Tori and Cobra Kai as he's stuck here with the captain role, trying to be the leader, and he just doesn't feel like he has that motivation of what he wanted, which is win together with her. And now that he's back on that, it's going to be a great scene for both of their characters. We'll see some more training scenes with both dojos of Silver. We'll see some of Cobra Miyagi-Do, Cobra Kai Miyagi-Do. And as they're training, I want Daniel to do like certain captain roles, because in the Saikai Taikai, I feel like the captains will be the main fights. And I'm going to get into the Saikai Taikai rules when we get there in the fight, but that's what they're going to know. And they're going to be, I guess, just training Robbie a bit more. And then Miguel's going to feel a little left out and somewhat even jealous. And this will lead into something a little different later, in a later scene. But yeah, I feel like Robbie's going to feel a little jealous. Maybe not jealous as like he doesn't deserve it, just like of where he is and what he think he should be to this dojo, to his legacy, and to everything. But yeah, then we'll shift back to some Silver scenes. We'll see Silver talking and saying, we are not here to show mercy. We are not here to hold back. The moment I held back, I lost everything. Not anymore. I will not let that happen to you. We will fight. We will leave everything out there, and we will win. And then we see Daniel at nighttime in his office. He's kind of drinking a bit. He's starting to regret his decision a little bit more. He's looking at some pictures of Miyagi. He's really conflicted about his decision of, yes, he feels like he needs to stay and take on Silver, but he also doesn't want to break up the students. He doesn't want to break up that stuff, his relationships, and that's something he's really struggling with. But as he's doing that, Miguel will walk in, and he'll say, it's okay if I talk with you? And he'll say, yeah, what's up? He says, I've been wondering of where does this end with me? And Daniel says, what do you mean? And he says, this tournament. What happens after with me? I mean, my whole life, the last 2 years have been karate. That's it. I would think if I became a captain and I fought in the Saikai Taikai, it could give me somewhere to college, to opportunities, because I know I'm not going to get there on my own. Dan will say, oh, don't say that. And then Miguel will say, I think I have to. The captain will get all the glory, whether I win or lose, or if he wins or if he loses. For me, it won't matter. And look at what it's doing. It's breaking everything apart. It's breaking up you and Johnny. It's breaking up this dojo. And what's next? Our bones? And all for what? This will trigger Daniel a little bit, and he'll say, it's not all about you, Miguel. And we got to fight for what's better for all cause. You think I want to be here messing up my relationship with my wife, with my friends, with my dignity? I don't want to do this any more than you. But we got to stop Silver. This is what this is all about. Miguel will say, I thought we joined for us, not him. Daniel says, we did, but this has to end. It needs to end. Miguel will say, so what? I'm just a pawn in your karate rival? And then Daniel will say, no, Miguel, it's not that. And Miguel will say, it's okay. I'll fight for whatever that means, and walks out. This will be an interesting scene because you really understand where Miguel's motivation is on why he's fighting in this. I mean, he looks around. His dad's not even there. all his friends are conflicted with stuff. They've done stuff. Robbie's done some bad things to bad people. He has to go back to America, go try to get a college degree. The last time he thought he almost broke his back. It feels like this is leading nowhere, and we've beaten Cobra Kai before. We beat them a while back. We put Silver in jail, and feel it's all recycling. And how much this can mess with a kid's mind, and that might be all Silver's plan at the end. Anyway, on to the next thing. Then it shows Johnny and Carmen, and they're talking, and they're not going to necessarily start fighting, but they're going to start questioning on, they need you, like, they really need you. He'll say he says they're not fighting, they're fighting for the wrong stuff. She'll say, so you leave him and you leave your son there, your students like that. And then he'll say, listen, they're adults, they make their own choices, they want to fight, but I can't instigate that. I can't instigate Daniel's ideology. I butchered that word. Carmel will walk away, and then he'll say, I thought this is what you wanted from me. You want me to come back. And then she'll say, you know what I want. And Carmen will just walk away. Okay, and then we're going to get to the Sekai Taikai. So the Sekai Taikai is about to happen, and it's going to be quite fun. But as the Sekai Taikai is happening, everyone's walking out, but they realize Tori's not there. And they're wondering why they're not. Robbie will walk in, he will see her in the locker room, and she's looking at the Cobra Kai Miyagi-Do gi. And she didn't get into a conversation where she feels like she is so down on herself, where she doesn't know she can fight, where she doesn't feel like she, like kind of the dialogue she was giving Sam, she doesn't feel like she deserves to be in this dojo. She deserves to fight. And then Robbie will kind of say, come on, I need you out there for me. And she'll say, I'm sorry, if I go out there, it'll make it even worse. Because she's in a rough spot. People got to understand that. So her going out there to fight, especially after her last fight where she got knocked out brutally, I don't want this to be taken as a sign of weakness. I feel like she's doing this in a lot of strength. I feel like she's taking everything in her body to not go out there and fight for her friends against Cobra Kai. I don't think she's necessarily afraid, and I don't think she's necessarily anything like that. I think this is fully accepting. It could be a false acceptance, but she's fully accepting herself as, I can never be a good person with this. So me going out there and winning or competing or fighting with these guys will just bring them closer to me, where I can break them even more, because she doesn't trust herself to make good decisions. And this is an arc I want to go more down in part 3, of where she can start to accept herself more, because she can realize that that's not who she is. I feel like that's kind of the best thing you can do with the whole her going to Cobra Kai thing. Once she gets out of that situation, she is not going to be all sunshine and rainbows for her. She's going to be really down on herself with that decision, even though she made it under extreme situation. So Robbie will go out, and this will be really rough on Robbie, because he just got back his whole motivation. It just got ripped away just like that. And he has to go out there and fight and be a captain, and it's just going to be a rough spot for him and the whole dojo when they find out that Sam's not there, because Tori's not there, because she was going to be a big part of this new dojo. So as he walks out, he gets back in the lineup. They ask, hey, where's Tori? And he won't even say a word. He'll just look at him, look back, and I think Miguel and Robbie will give a tense look at each other as they are ready to fight, and it's going to be just a tense moment in general. And I think they'll all find out, they know that she's not going to fight. And that's when they'll try to bring Kenny back. That's when because I feel like Kenny got, I don't want to say kicked out, but Tori kind of took his spot, but then Kenny's going to come back in, and there we go. Now, let me explain how this Sekai Taikai is going to work, because I have an interesting way, and I doubt they're going to do this in this, but this is just an interesting way I planned this. So, this is how it's going to work. For a dojo to win, you got to get to 6 points. 6 points. Now, there'll be 2 captain fights. There'll be the 2 captains for the girls. They'll fight. Whoever wins that gets 2 points for the dojo. And there'll be a fight for the boys. The captain boys. And whoever wins that will get 2 points. Now, if the girl captain and boy captain both win, it's 4-0. They can't win. It's because it's not really... It's best out of 6, may I add, not first to 6. So best out of 6. So if both captain wins, it's over. But there's a third round where it's like almost a bracket of all the other students, and whoever wins that at the end, they get 2 points. So it's not necessarily one fight for 2 points, because the captain's a little less important, you could say. But all the other people in the dojo, it'll be like a bracket going down to the best, and whoever wins that final one they'll get 2 points. So let's say you split with the girls. Let's say the girl wins, the girl from Miyagi, let's say girl from Cobra Kai wins the captain bracket against the other girl, but then the guy from Miyagi-Do wins the captain from Miyagi-Do wins that. It's tied 2-2. Whoever wins the next one will win that. 4-2 win. That's what I'm trying to get out. It's best out of really 6. So yeah, that's how it's going to work. So now let's get to it. Now, this is a conference fight, number 1. So we're going to have Cobra Kai versus another dojo, and Miyagi-Do versus another dojo. I'm not sure what this is going to be, but they're going to be fighting. It's going to be a great montage, maybe, and we'll see a lot of great fights. I think Cobra Kai is going to dominate this one. They're going to go 6-0 against them, destroy them, and as this fights are happening, I think Kreese is going to walk out. Not walk out, he's like in the background watching from the stance in like a hoodie. And he's just kind of watching from the stance. We're going to see Miyagi-Do fight. We're going to see Hawk fighting a couple of the guys. There'll be a couple good fights. Hawk will win a couple times. I want Hawk to actually do really good in this first round. And then we'll find out. And then Miyagi-Do will advance. And then we get to the final dojo matchup. Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do. So first, they're going to do the first part of the other student fights. So this is not the captains yet. They're doing the first part. Not doing the full bracket yet, but they're doing the first couple parts of that. So they're going to start out with Hawk. Hawk will fight one of the students. He will win. He will advance. And Kenny will fight one of their students, and he'll actually lose. And who that student will be? It will be Woon. I can't really say his name. I'll put his picture up there just so you guys know. But I can't remember this guy's name. It's like Woon or something. That's the guy Kenny's going to fight. He's going to lose that one. So now the student bracket is tied 1-1. So now it comes down to the next 2 fights of Miguel and Guan and Hawk versus Woon. And whoever wins those, that will decide the 2 points for the students. I do want to mention that Axel is the captain, not Guan. Before they do that, we're going to have the girl fights. So whoever wins this girl captain fight will be awarded 2 points, and it is Sam LaRusso versus Zara. And this will be a good fight, and I think this will even go to overtime, sudden death, both tied 3-3. And by the way, I think for these fights the points will actually be 1-4, so they're tied 3-3. And I feel like Sam is going to start getting scared again. Flashbacks will happen. Everything will happen bad. And as she's doing that, she'll get kicked in the face as she practically gets knocked out. And yes, I do have Sam losing. So Sam will lose the girl division as Cobra Kai gets awarded 2 points. Zara gets the girl champion trophy. As Tori's watching from the far, Daniel goes out to get her. Cobra Kai's up 2-0. And I know a lot of people want Sam to win, but I feel like this will just be better for the story when we get to the next part. Then we get to Robbie versus Axel. Now, Cobra Kai's up 2-0. If Robbie loses this, they're up 4-0 and it's over, because that means they cannot come back with the Miguel and other fights. So Robbie has got to win this. And he's going to start off bad. They're going to go up 2-0 against... Axel's going to go up 2-0 against him. And as he's doing this, Daniel's going to call a timeout. Yes, I do have timeouts near, or just like a whatever. And as he's doing that, we're going to see Johnny walk in. And Daniel's be like, Johnny, what are you doing? How do you get here? You're like, don't worry about it. And then he will say, you thought I'd let you lose all alone? They'll smile. And I feel like he's more here, not because he agrees with it. I feel like he just needs to be there for his son. He needs to be there with his students. And he is out there. Johnny will go to Robbie and says, hey, you gotta fight for everything. You got to keep your head clear. But he's going to get mad. He's going to be walking back and forth. He's like, I got this. He'll go back out there, and then that's when Axel's going to start getting his head. He'll start saying stuff about Tori. He'll start saying terrible things, and then he's going to run at him, and he's going to go after him to kind of, just punch him. But this is just baiting him. He's going to brutally punch him in the face. He's going to get almost knocked out, and he goes up 3-0 against him. And as he's knocked out, we're going to get a brief flashback of almost his whole life of everything, of how he lost everything. He lost in the All Valley. He loses in the other All Valley, and just his whole life being kind of down, of going on a dark path, going into Cobra Kai. And as he's doing that, he's going to get up, because they almost just count him as disqualified because he was basically just out. But he gets back up. He's down 0-3. If he gets one more point, Axel, he loses. But Robbie needs to get 4 straight, and he immediately gets a first point right on him. When he does that, he goes to try to hit him again. He dunks it. and he hits him again. He is now up 2-3. Then Axel will start to bleed from his face. And he looks at him, and it gets real. They're going to look. They're going to make eye contact. They're both bleeding. He rushes at him, but Robbie stays calm, and he punches him, and he gets knocked out, but he gets up right away as Axel is just livid. And they're now tied 3-3, and next point wins. And the crowd's going crazy. They're both bleeding. They both look at each other, and they're both waiting for the next person to make a move. It's going to be a great cinematic shot of what's going to happen. And he's going to run at him, and Robbie's going to jump up in the air and kick him in the face, and he is going to beat him. He's going to beat him from a huge comeback from 0-3, and the whole crowd's going to go crazy. He's going to win his first championship as he keeps Miyagi-Do alive, tied 2-2. Everyone will run out there, I think, to celebrate, but I do think that Tori's going to be watching from the far and have a smile on her face, but she doesn't want to go out there because, obviously. And then Miguel, he'll like a nod to him, but he is still locked in because this still comes down to him and Hawk to win this whole thing. But yeah, this will be a great scene for him to finally get his trophy. And yeah, but now it comes down to the next two fights. And this is how it's going to work. We got Hawk versus Woon, I think that's his name, and we got Miguel versus Guan. Now, if they both tie and Miyagi-Do wins one fight and Cobra Kai wins one fight, they go into sudden death for both captains. That means there'll be a rematch with both both Sam and Zara and Robbie and Axel. They'll have one rematch together side by side, and whoever wins that will be first point wins the whole thing. With that being said, if Cobra Kai wins both of these, or if Miyagi-Do wins both of these, the dojo wins 6-2. I know this is really confusing, but I kind of just spitballed this idea, so you have to give me a break. All right, so here we go with the first fight, and we have Hawk versus Woon, and this will be a good fight. It'll be just like the last one. They'll go up 3-3. It's next point wins. And Hawk's OG music will start playing from Season 3 when he got the redemption. He'll be looking. He'll be going to make a great kick. But as he goes up, he loses. He hits him. He loses. And now it all comes down to Miguel. And I know a lot of people won't like this, but I think this will go into a better arc for him. Because as he walks back to the sidelines, he'll be almost in tears and he'll say it's okay. Then he'll just say, no, I should be better. That's what he'll say. He said, I should be better. I feel like this is something he's been holding back, where he doesn't feel like he is as good as he should be as a fighter, even as a person a bit, because he was don't forget, he was the All Valley champ, and ever since then, it hasn't really been his way. From losing to Kenny, from now this, that could cost it, and now he just feels like he should be better. He could have been better. He could have almost saved this tournament. Because if Miguel, if he would have won that, if Miguel lost, at least he'll go sudden death. And if Miguel won, they win the whole thing. But now, if Miguel loses this, it's over. But Miguel will go in completely locked in. Then we got Miguel versus Guan, a rematch where I think Guan beat him last time. And it's going to go good for Miguel with the first part. He's going to go up 2-0. And I think he's even going to hurt him pretty bad. He's going to have a great hit. Maybe even a little bit of I don't think dirty hit, but even start going back to a little bit of his Cobra Kai ways where he's just kind of being very aggressive. And Johnny and Daniel are both looking at each other and just a little confused on like how he's playing, how he's acting. But he starts getting let his anger take control. Where Guan starts getting his head again, he starts getting frustrated about the whole being a captain thing. He has a lot of frustration on him. And then Guan's going to score the next 3 points, where now it's 2-3, where Guan just needs one more point. He needs 2 more points to win the whole Saikai Taikai. Johnny calls a timeout as he goes back to it, and then they're talking. They're like, you got to clear your head. And he says, no, I'll win this thing right now. But like, Miguel, wait. He goes out there, and he does a huge kick right when the bell rings, and it's now tied 3-3. Next point wins. Do I do that too much? Is free and free a little nonchalant? It's Cobra Kai. Give me a break. But this is it. Next point wins. The whole Saikai Taikai is on the line. But I do want to mention, when he did hit him, another kind of dirty hit again, where he kind of hit his legs, and now he's kind of hurt. Now it's next point wins. And this is for the whole Saikai Taikai. They're going to go up, start running at each other. It's in slow motion. Miguel goes through the same spin kick he attempted in Season 4 and will kick him right in the face, and he wins. Miyagi-Do wins. But as he did this, Guan is knocked out again. He's hurt again. Blood's everywhere, but the crowd goes crazy. Miguel screams. He's happy. It's a triumph moment, but as that scream's over, he just looks around. He looks at the dojo, and they're almost shocked. Miyagi-Do won, but at what cost? Robbie will be looking at his trophy, and he will feel like, what was this for? Almost. He'll just look at his trophy. He'll look at Johnny and Daniel. He'll kind of shake his head a little bit, and he'll just walk away. Daniel looks in horror as what he did to these students, what he did for the cost of revenge. And as he's looking around, he's going to look at Cobra Kai. He's going to see Kim Da-eun. She's really mad. She walks away. But then as he's looking at that, he slowly looks up a little further and sees Terry Silver staring right at him as they lock eyes. And Daniel's looking at him in almost fear. And then Silver, he's trying to get his reaction, like, is he mad? He doesn't understand what's going on. Then Silver just makes a slight smirk at him, as he knows this is all his plan. He knew these students were not going to beat him. He knew he could get in his head, and he knew he could push these students to do the wrong things, all just to torment him. And he finally finds out he never cared about winning. He never cared about the trophy. He never did. He just wanted to get to me, and he just did, and I allowed him to go right through that door. And this demonstrates exactly why Silver is such a perfect villain, because he does stuff exactly like this. And this is going to lead to a better part 3 that you can even imagine. If Miyagi-Do won, it's all happy, sunshine and rainbows, where does part 3 lead to? I don't really think Cobra Kai should win, because then you have a problem with him being world national. But if you have Miyagi-Do win, and it's a dark, gloomy way, and it still kind of feels like Silver won this, that can lead to something far more interesting. And then we'll have the press news, like, obviously a huge triumph moment. Miyagi-Do wins everything. It's like all this happy thing. But then we'll just see them in the locker room. It's all quiet. They're all looking at each other. Robbie just staring at his trophy. Feels like everything he wanted his whole life, he got it and feels worthless. And then Johnny will just say, let's go home. As sad music starts playing, we see him on the plane. We see them getting back to the place with like a huge parade and people celebrating because they won the world championship. And it just doesn't feel like they did it for what they actually wanted for. We see Daniel getting back home, giving a hug to Amanda. And then it's a couple days later. We see her knock at the door. And this is the end of the episode. It's a knock on the door, and Daniel goes to open it, and it's John Kreese. And he's like, and he just says, I think there's something I can help you with. And then it ends. That's part 2. That's the episode. There we go. Now, if you're wondering what that means, that's a good question, because I barely even know. Because I don't actually write these episodes, like all of them, and then make them. I make an episode, make a video, write an episode. I mean, I have ideas of what I do. I mean, it's like Donald Trump. Like, I have concept of a plan. You know what I mean? Like, I don't actually know what I'm going to do for it. So, if you guys have any ideas, let me know. But I still have a great concept of what this part 3 is going to be. And just for a little tease about it, it's going to be after part 2, as I explained. So it's going to be a while to tell this, but it's going to be a lot more driven on how Silver got to the head and how Silver is still going to torment them after, and how they're going to have to fight back against them when it starts getting really bloody. So that's how it's going to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. Love you all. I'm going to try to make a video every single day till season 6. So I hope I can do that. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you guys next time. Always remember, extreme choices are extreme measures. Peace.